Here with Judge Ken Scheibenberger, who is one of the Allen County Superior Court judges. Ken, we appreciate your time today. We're going to talk a little bit. You're up for re-election as Superior Court judge. This will be, if elected, this would be your fourth term.
That's right. I've been a judge since '92, January of '92.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what your qualifications are.
Well, let's see, Steve. I've been a lawyer since 1976. Became a judge in 1992. So I think that means I have about 34 years of experience. Almost all of that experience is in the criminal law area. When I was in the private practice, I was a public defender and did mostly criminal work. In fact, before I even got out of law school, I worked 2 years for the Indiana Prosecuting Attorneys Council as an intern, helping prosecutors throughout the state. Then in '92, I was appointed as criminal court judge and have been there full-time ever since.
What is it that you like about the law?
I became a lawyer in order to help people. I think that being a judge gives me the ultimate opportunity to do that. I've been able to give a second chance to people who deserve it, mainly drug-addicted or alcohol-addicted people, give them a chance to get their lives in order so that they can become productive citizens in our community and not be a burden on our taxes. I also get the opportunity to deal with the really bad people, take them off the street, and make our streets safer. I think helping addicted people to get straight, putting the bad guys, really bad guys, in prison, all falls into helping other people and making our streets safe. And I'm proud of what I have done for the last, gosh, I can't all of a sudden say almost 18 years as a judge.
And one of the big parts of that was the drug court that you started.
Yes, I'm very, very proud of what I did in forming the drug court. I fought against a lot of negative people who did not think that it was important to help drug-addicted people. I was able to overcome that problem with those people and the politicians. We started a trial deal with the drug court, and then we're able to put it full speed, and we have been extremely fortunate. We have over 450 people that we have helped graduate. Even those people that don't graduate, studies show, have an indication that they're helped somewhat. It takes them longer to reoffend. While we don't get a non-reoffend rate, we still keep them on the street a little longer. Our drug court program was one of the first in the state. I think it was third or fourth. And it's one of the models for drug courts throughout the country. And I'm very, very proud of that.
Let's talk a little bit about the record that you've accumulated on the bench. How do I, as an average citizen, look at your record and know what to look for? And
well, you know, if you want to look in terms of trials and cases that I have dealt with, let me start with this. My court is one of the few courts in the state that disposes of more cases than are filed, and I'm very proud of that. There are only maybe a half a dozen of the courts in the state that can say that. I have handled, over my almost 20 years of experience as a judge, best I can estimate is somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 jury trials. Before I became a judge, I probably did about 150 jury trials. I also do an awful lot of bench trials, where I'm the judge and the jury, and I make the decision on whether the state has proven the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That, I think, is a very important thing, because that shows that the prosecutors and the defense lawyers trust my judgment and are willing to have me make the determination rather than the jury. A lot of judges talk about their affirmance rate. When they've gone to trial and the defendant or whoever loses appeals, and have I been sustained, has my verdict been sustained, or whether it's been reversed. Not too many of my cases have been reversed. A few of the cases that have been reversed are because of relatively new changes in the law. The most recent one that was reversed was a totally new rule that the Court of Appeals decided they want to institute. But I can't. 20 maybe have been reversed in the time that I've been on the bench. So I think I've got a pretty good rate there. They seem to make, that seemed to be important to the people who are interviewing for the new Indiana Supreme Court justice. Mine's as good as any one of those. My affirmance rate's as good as any one of those, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Is it more of a challenge to do a bench trial versus a jury trial?
There's really not a whole lot of difference between a bench trial and a jury trial, other than we don't spend all the time picking the jury and then at the end of the trial arguing to the jury why the person should be guilty or not guilty. So it takes, you know, a bench trial take a couple hours. A jury trial can take a day or two, depending on how complicated it is, or even longer if it's a murder trial.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else that maybe I didn't ask that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I think that, you know, it's important to understand that I am choosing to do drug cases. Drug cases go all the way from an A felony all the way down to a D felony, the least serious. I do that because of my passion for trying to help addicted people deal with their addictions. I think that's one of the, yeah, okay. I think that's one of the most important jobs that I have, is to, in order to help make our communities safe. People that are addicted are the people that are the ones that break into your house to get your stuff, knock you over the head when you're going to the mall, take your money from your purse, steal your car or whatever, so that they can get money or property that they can trade into the drug house for dope. If we can stop that cycle of needing money for dope, we can not only and help those people deal with their addictions, we can then make our community safer. We have less crime and we have less addiction. And that's why I choose to stay in the drug area, dealing with drug cases. It's very important to me. It's one of those things that I think we can, that I can do in order to help the jail and prison overcrowding problem that we have here. If a person is not addicted, then they're not going to commit crimes, presumably, and they're not going to be in our jails and our prisons. So that's my reason in being and doing what I do. I just feel so strongly about it. I can't say anything more. And I think that the drug court and everything that I've done with the support that I have among the criminal defense bar, as well as public defenders included, and even some prosecuting attorneys who can't go public because of restrictions that they have, they support this whole concept. And I've made believers out of a lot of people on this whole thing. We now have the reentry court, which does the same thing with addicted people. So that's the wave of the future, and we are ahead of that, and I'd like to take some credit for that. I'm going to take some credit.